Hello and welcome to Garblag Games. Tonight we have episode 4 of our Hyperborea adventure, Doom of the Crab King. I'm Pete, and in Hyperborea I'm known as a referee, not a game master. And I've got 3 lovely players with me once again, and we're going to go around and they're going to tell us who they are and who they're playing and their characters' likes and dislikes. No. Anyway, we'll go. We're going to start with Dennis this week. How are you doing, Dennis?
I'm all right, Pete. Thank you. I am indeed Dennis. I have brought in Lafel Good, who is a Lafel Good paladin. He likes shells. He likes to drink in his favorite pub. He likes big old Roman gladiators.
Who
He
doesn't?
doesn't like. Yeah, who doesn't, right? He doesn't like random bozos trashing his pub and bursting in and setting the place ablaze. He doesn't like that. Let's see if we could do something about that.
Excellent, excellent. We will see. You've got that giant 2-handed mace now, haven't you? Maybe could bash in a few heads with that.
Who knows?
We'll see. Okay, someone who won't be bashing in any skulls. Dan, how's your rolling going today? Sorry, I couldn't help myself. You rolled atrociously in episode 2, was it? Episode 2? Yeah, against the fish folk. Let's hope you have more fun tonight. How are you doing?
I mean, I always have fun, Pete.
Oh,
In fact,
true.
the bad rolls are part of the fun. Yeah, I'm doing all right. Okay, hi everyone. I'm Dan, and I am playing Alakazam or Alikazam, who is an Atlantean. She's a shaman. She has now been renamed the Grey Lady. Not sure how that came about, but apparently there's a little bit of a legend growing now. And there's a bar on fire. Being an Atlantean, she's not a big fan of heat and fire, so that's one of her dislikes. Along with crab people. Apparently, that's on her dislike list now. She doesn't really have many likes though, so
It's
certainly
only
not hitting
bits
people.
on fire. It's only a bit on fire.
It's only a bit on fire. Hopefully, we can put that fire out before it catches more on fire.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Excellent. The Grey Lady. Hashtag Grey Lady. We've seen that on sort of graffiti alongside rude crab pictures.
Yeah, I believe I got accused of being, or people thought she might have been a lady of the night.
That was uncultured thug.
Yeah.
Indeed. Indeed. Well said, Aldoon. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well, Pete. Thank you for asking. Good evening, everybody. I'm Adun. I will be playing Jean Gressduck, the whatever it is I am. The Purloiner, the thief priest, Carolingian Frank Purloiner, hence the absolutely fitting accent. And Jean likes acceptable wines and lobsters and dislikes crab people or just supposedly holy folk who paint their arms funny colours and think it makes them important.
Walk around with elastic bands around their fingers.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
None of that.
Cool. Awesome. All right. Well, our crew are back again. Before we go into our recap, don't forget to check out all our social media links. They are below somewhere for you to click on. And also like and subscribe. There we go. Said it. And join us on our Discord. There are lots of people on there talking about role-playing games, our shows, much more, and many silly things, including the GIF War.
GIF War. GIF War is eternal.
It is indeed. Cool. Okay, so last time on Doom of the Crab King, where did we begin our session? You were looking for a jeweler, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I believe we started in the tavern with Gerd.
Yes.
Gerd.
Gerd.
And then we got the names.
Yep.
But we discovered it was not likely to be the lady jeweler person who was actually, we think is actually working with the rebellion. Well, no, it's not called the rebellion, but that's what I'm going to call it for the moment. So we went to the blacksmiths,
Yes.
but not before we stopped off.
Vandro.
Vandro, that's it, but
Yeah.
not before we stopped at the shrine for
Yes.
someone to do some talking. And that talking did not end up in fighting, which we were all mildly surprised about.
Which I think Aldoon got 50 experience points for. So
But not causing a fight.
I healed someone's hand, some random artist who had been beaten. And then we went to Vandros, to which he showed us the plans after we brought him some beers at lunchtime. But he
Yes.
did it all very surreptitiously, and we then told us we couldn't. Made a big act of not being able to get a jeweled pommel later on. And then we got followed by some random thug dude.
And what were the
Green.
plans of?
The plans were of basically a laser beam made of a giant ruby.
Yes.
I think that's the very basis of what it is.
And
think-
he's generally quite neutral and just up for getting paid, but was probably like sending a bit of a warning to people through you that like some really bad stuff's gonna happen probably.
Most likely, yeah. And we met Green. Actually, and he told us about Hufflepuffle.
Paffle Jaffet.
Pavel Devitt, the leader of the once Dockmaster, now Underground Rebellion people. But they're basically gangsters by the sound of it. They sound like they're basically the mafia.
Yeah.
And then Gerd set up a meeting with that said person. And we met Dodecimus. Turns out he doesn't like causes but likes money, so we've paid for his services for 4 days. And then we met Paffle Jaffet, just as a raid of the crab people happened in the bar.
Importantly, what did Paffle Jaffet say to you when you showed him the plans?
He wanted to keep the weapon for himself,
Yes.
which I
So,
know.
want
That's what he said. And now I know we're probably not happy about that. Or at least I know my character's not happy about this idea.
We haven't had a chance for a sidebar, but
No, we haven't.
that's not happening.
Yeah.
Yes, because this is a room full of thugs.
But yes, and last I remember, Paffle Jaffet accused us of setting up a trap and is now making his way to the back door. I'm not sure he's actually left yet, but I think that's where we're up to.
No, so he was in the back room with you guys and Gerd and Gerd and a bunch of thug type looking chaps. And there'd been a loud commotion from the common area, and Gerd had pulled the curtain back, and you'd all seen into the room of thugs running in, enforcers, brute squad, and there was a second echelon cultist with a green claw, and there were 2 first echelon cultists with red claws moving about and ordering them about. And with so many people sort of suddenly on their feet and rushing around, if you remember, it got a bit more busy. There were more people in the tavern. There were the miners over in one corner still sleeping it off. Dodecimus was there, and there were a bunch more people drinking and eating. And so there's quite a ruckus going on. It's turning into a barroom brawl. And you're correct, Paffle Jaffet said, "It's a trap." And you don't know whether he's referring to you or just someone might have shared information, and he's starting to move to the back, and some of his men are moving him back towards the kind of underground entrance that obviously he's arrived through. So what would you chaps like to... You can see Dodecimus kind of stand up and like stretch his neck, and he's kind of looking at the array of weapons he has on the table, making a decision about which one he should pick up. So
Got a tasting menu.
While he's doing that, Gerd kind of looks at you like his eyes are like wide, and he's like he's a smart guy. He's often in control, but in this moment they're like trashing his place. He looks at you like, I haven't got a fucking clue what to do.
My friend Gerd, would it be advantageous if we were to murder all of the cultists in your bar right now, or to...
They're setting the place on fire.
So yes. Okay, yes. Okay, fine.
Is Paffle Jaffet still making his way out the back of the room?
Yeah, he's kind of moving to the back, and he's saying, "Oh, I've told you this is a bad idea." And a couple of the thugs are like, "No, boss." A couple of the thugs are like looking through, like, you know, they look like rough folk who are kind of might be up for a bit of a scrap.
Alika at the top of her voice is going to go, "Paffle Jaffet!" Your people are out there. They need you. She said it loud enough so the entire bar can hear. Like she's like literally at the top of her voice.
All
So the
right.
whole bar can hear.
Okay.
Your idea to use the weapon to protect the city is a good one, but your people need you now. And then
So you're gonna scream that in the middle of the room. You're gonna like leaning a bit so people.
yeah,
outside
leaning a
of
bit
the
so the
room-
people so I
people
can
outside can hear.
definitely hear.
Okay, so
I
that's
have
what
no
you're
idea.
doing.
Yeah.
What are Jean and Laffel doing?
Cheering them on. I don't know. I think Jean is going to try and make his way to Dodecimus.
Okay, that's cool. So you move in that direction, and Laffel.
I'll probably challenge one of the folks that are setting this pub on fire. If this, I'm assuming they've got torches out and
Yeah, and they've
setting-
got kind of big, nasty-looking. They're not maces. They're like crude kind of clubs with not nails through, but like sort of metal strips around the ends, you know, to make them a bit more resilient to bashing people over the head.
Fair enough. Yeah, no,
Cudgels, I suppose, is probably a better word, right?
sure.
So they're kind of moving around and whacking people, and a couple of people are fighting back. And nearby, there are some people who clearly don't want to be in a fight, being attacked by two of these thugs.
I'll intercede there if I can. Just charge in there with shield up and try to take a blow or two.
Okay, right. I think this is where we need to roll initiative. Right? So one of you, and I think it's going to be Laffel, because Laffel's the one instigating some action. Right? So Dennis, you'll roll a d6.
Uh-oh.
I will then roll a d6 for the cultists and a d6 for the gangsters. Right? Those being the two other groups. And we'll assume that Gerd and Decimus go with you guys. Yeah?
Yep.
Sounds like a fair way to split it. So this will be for Baffle Jaffet. Baffle Jaffet's doing well. And this will be for the cultists. Oh,
Hey.
okay. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. So you see, so Alakazam, you did the screaming thing, right? So you screamed, Baffle Jaffet here, your idea of seizing the weapon is a fantastic idea. And you see the second echelon cultist turn at this screaming. Most other people, a few other people turn around, they're like, Baffle Jaffet's here? Kind of like, but most people aren't too fussed. They're like bashing someone on the head or being bashed on the head. So they're kind of busy. Whereas this guy is kind of standing at the back with a big green claw. He seems to have sort of something around his hand and like a van brace that's painted green. And his cloak or robe is just green up here, right? But he kind of turns to look at you. And he's like, over there! Quick! And some of the nearby thugs look like they're going to start moving in your direction, but it's not their go yet, right? That was the reaction that you got from your screaming. And you hear Baffle Jaffet, oh, you Atlantean bitch, let's get out of here, he says to his thugs. And they're like, oh, do you want us to do him over? No, let's get out of here. And they kind of move through this door into the next room where there's a, you don't know, but there is a tunnel down underground. Two of his thugs stay by that door to cover his retreat, but none of them seem to attack. They're on the defensive. So we will go to you guys. So Laffel, we've got, let's get the book out. Here we go. Let's get our combat book out.
Ooh.
We begin with melee, don't we?
Oh, yeah.
Anyone in melee, which Laffel you are, because you were doing that while the screaming was going on. Sorry, not screaming, shouting. You get to go first. So you, let me just get to the combat section. You can take a step, and then hit people. What's your weapon class on your weapon?
2, I believe.
Okay, so you got to be right next to them. Hasn't got any reach. 4 or 5 is 10 feet, and 6 is 15 to 20 feet. So I think it's like a whip or something, or a pike. Okay, so you are going to step up and attack this thug.
Yeah.
Cult thug. Okie doke. Hang on. You are going to get a +1 to hit because you are flanking.
Ooh.
There are other people involved in this fracas, and although these people at the table don't want to fight, they're standing up and defending themselves, so they count as combatants. So you come up beside this guy and go to give him a whack.
Wouldn't know how to. Do I just type +1 into that situational modifier?
Possibly.
Let's see what it does.
Yeah, you should trip it. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, look at that!
Critical hit. Oh my god! You step up, and there's like a quiet, like all the screaming sort of fades for one moment, and there's like a and your mace comes down with a thunderous crack, and you did 4 hit points of damage.
And then stuff.
Times 3 dice damage. Oh, well, you rolled damage already. 1d8 +1 +1, right? So that's 4 hit points. And then criticals. Let me just double check here.
Yeah, it gave me a button to roll critical. So
Okay.
I rolled critical.
So
I don't
that's
know
your
what it
extra
does.
damage, right? So you got 6 critical hit roll for... Oh, no. So you roll to see what happens with a critical hit.
Oh, that must be what that
And
is
I think
then.
that means you roll triple. You got triple damage.
Sweet.
So you do 12 points of damage.
Nice.
And at one moment, this guy's going, "Oh, you go fuck you up," like this to this bar patron, and the next moment, his entire face and head is just smashed. You just go through his skull, and it's like all completely crushes his whole head, brain, everything. Just goes. The poor bar patron gets showered in viscera, and
Sorry.
but he is thoroughly dead. And you're like, oh, that was a good. Yeah, you felt heroic in that moment, and obviously it paid off.
Absolutely.
Okay, so
That the priest mace you used.
No, it was
his
a regular horseman's mace.
Yeah.
Or footman's mace, rather. Sorry.
Cool.
How?
Okay, so then we have anyone who is doing missiles without moving. Is anyone doing any missile attacks?
I don't know. My plan was to move.
Yep,
And
we'll
then-
do that in a moment, don't worry.
Fair
No,
enough.
is anyone doing any magic? Alika, are you doing any magic? Nope.
I
Okay,
do magic, then move.
well, you can do, when you get to the movement thing, you can then move and do some magic.
Okay, let's do that.
Yes. Yeah, so you want to move over to Dodecimus.
Yep.
Okay, so you step up to Dodecimus, you like dodge between a few people and get to Dodecimus. And he's like looking at his weapons, and he's picked up a brutal looking gladius, which has got many notches in it. But it looks like it could cut through steel. There's something about it. There's like a weight to it in your vision that you can't kind of account for. And he picks it up and he says, "This one today."
Hello. There's a small warm-up has been arranged. Focus on the one with the red arm, the two with the red arms, and if you can, the one with the green arms.
I was going to kill that one, he says, pointing at a nearby red first echelon cultist.
But we are of a single man. It is incredible.
And he then moves away from you in his go towards that towards that guy. Make a full attack once at the end of the round. It's going to attack. Hang on, let me just find that right. Combat sequence, here we go. Move and melee. Move half and attack, or move full and charge attack. Optionally, move full and attack at end of round. Okay, so he's going to move half and attack. The guy's not that far away, you're all inside the tavern. So he moves across and he's like, ugh. Let's roll. So he's got weapon mastery and he's level 3. And he's got strength modifier. Okay, so he hits. He rolled a 20, so that's a critical hit. And then he's going to roll d6 plus 1 plus 2, 7 points of damage. And Dennis, could you roll a critical hit button for me just to see what he gets? 3 times 3 dice damage. So he does. So what's his? He was a 4, so 12 plus 3, 15 points of damage. Okay, so he steps up and like runs his blade into the cultist's stomach, drags it up through his torso and out his shoulder, and this cultist who's merely got a painted arm screams this most horrific scream that you've heard, John. It's like, and this kind of spray of blood goes up one startled thug's face in like a vicious line and hits the ceiling, and then the guy's body hits the floor like a sack of bolognese. And it kind of pours out, and he wipes it. He wipes the thing on his leg, and he looks at you, John, and nods.
That is. Huh?
Okay, Alika, what are you doing?
I am. I'm going to brace. I figured someone's going to be charging towards me now because I desperately tried to pull Paffett Jaffet into the fight, but he ignored that and ran away. So I'm just going to brace, and if someone comes near me, I'm going to stab them. So if they come charging towards me, I'll stab them.
Okay, right. So you're bracing for an impact.
Yep.
With your trident in the doorway.
Yes.
Which to someone in the common room might look like you are defending Paffett Jaffet.
Yeah, maybe.
Because you're shouting about it. Come in, and this person's heard you. Okay, so
they already don't like me anyway, so there's a bounty on my head if I remember correctly.
That's true. Adun, did you want to cast magic once you've done your move?
Yeah.
What were you thinking about doing?
I was thinking of casting command on. Well, obviously not the red-armed one because they're dead. But maybe the other red-armed one, or maybe
Sure.
the green one. I can't. Let's go with the red one. So to call upon the power of the Raven God and command them, try and affect their tiny, tiny mind, and command them to flee.
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 Okay.
Don't we need to kill them all?
Right. Do we need to roll? How does this work? How does command work?
You're not wrong, but
Is that it? You do not roll.
Creatures of above average intelligence, 13 plus, are allowed a saving throw.
No. Okay. He turns and runs, jumps over the bar.
So not towards the door.
There's like halfway into the room, and there's all kinds of stuff going on, and he's just seen Dodecimus like skewer someone, and blood spray everywhere, and he's just kind of jumped behind the bar. You assume hoping that there's a way out behind the bar, which isn't a stupid assumption,
I'll
right?
dig his way out. That's fine. I'll keep him busy for a bit.
So how long does that last?
It just keeps going. It doesn't say.
Oh, wow.
Duration is 6 rounds. Sorry.
6 rounds. I mean, even that's quite good, isn't it?
Mm.
So he's going to run off into the back rooms of the tavern looking for a way out.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
If the subject is harmed or disturbed, then the command is broken.
Okay, fine. The second echelon cultist does not look happy at this turn of events, as one of his chosen groupies has. He's like looking around, like, what's going on? I wasn't expecting this. And since you guys have now had your go, it's over to the cultists and their guys. So people are sort of, I'm not going to roll for all the thugs in the room. They're all kind of fighting. The miners who have kind of woken up and started to fight back. And there's a few other people in the tavern who are fighting. But there seems to be casualties on both sides as people are dropping or getting their face smashed on a table or flagon jammed in their face. You know, all these kind of things are going on, and there's a smash cuts of like bush, sword, club, all this kind of stuff going on. So it's pretty brutal. The second echelon cultist is going to step forward and cast a spell.
Kill him next.
Kalkos, send me the great searing light, and the power that you have within your claw, give unto me now. And he casts.
Oh, he's a crab with a torch.
He casts a magic missile.
Oh dear.
Alika.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
I believe there's no ability to dodge or save against this, so...
No, but you're lucky. He's not very powerful. So there's only one missile.
Oh.
And it's a glowing arrow, but it's red. And it shoots through the air so fast that it looks like a laser beam. And you take 2 points of damage as it kind of hits you in the chest.
She grunts, braces herself.
And he shouts, "Find the dockmaster! Through there!" It's
She continues to...
a nearby thug charges you.
Here we go. Can she finally hit something?
You're all prepared.
I did.
7. That's
did
a
I hit?
hit.
Yeah.
Hey!
And also, because I'm bracing and I've been charged, I do double damage. So it's actually 8 hit points of damage.
Okay. So
Sweet.
he goes, "Through there! Get them!" And this thug turns around and goes, "Yeah!" And like your trident goes through his neck, and he's like, and he like the club drops out of his hand, and his like eyes and tears run down his face, and he like chokes, and you're like, "Ugh."
Hoist him off and then push him to the floor.
Yeah.
Hopefully everyone sees that the grey lady just did that. She kind of tries to make a bit more of a spectacle of it, trying to make everybody see.
Sure. Haha, I defeated you.
It was completely.
It's a bit gross. Not used to it.
Oh, no.
You're not like Laffle, it's just like, yeah, bosh. Okay, cool. So there's kind of cultists are sort of moving about. Some of them are moving down towards your end of the room, but they've just seen that you've skewered this guy through the neck, and there's various other death dealing going on. And this giant Roman is now sort of wading around, smashing people. I'm going to have to make a morale roll for these guys. Where are we? Let me find I believe morale. We roll morale. Here we go. 2, 6, 7. Morale. Test it with a morale check. Alright, okay, score that ranges 2 to 12. Roll 2d6. If it's equal to or less than the subject's morale score, it continues to fight. If it is higher, but there are... Yeah. Here we go. So, I'm going to roll 2d6. And let's see what happens. What's their morale? Their morale is 6. Okay, so if they get 7 or more, the thugs are going to run away. No. They keep fighting. So, new round. I suggest, should we stick with the same initiatives or do we want to roll again?
I'm happy to stick.
Okay.
Yeah, same is fine.
Sure. With many moving parts, this can be a bit too fiddly to keep rolling again. So it is Paffel Jaffet's teams go first, and you can hear some people moving around in the back, and you hear him shout, "Oh, go and help them! Go on!" And 4 thugs, the 2 who are guarding, as if just to make sure, 2 people come out and say, "Come on in," and 4 of them start moving towards you, Alika, not to attack you, but to get involved. And they're like, "Get out of the way!" And they're like, one guy gets a big knife out, the other guy puts 2 knuckle dusters on, another guy pulls out a big stick. You know, they've got their own personal weapons, and they look well used, so they kind of go and join in the fray. Yeah, they're going to have to move fully to get into combat, so they're not going to be able to do anything this turn. They have to get from that room through your room to them. That can all happen, but they're not going to get to make an attack. And you don't hear... You can hear people talking in that other room, so you think that maybe they haven't fully fled yet. They're kind of waiting to see what happens. Some of the drapes and curtains and cushions and things around the edges of the room are on fire, so there's a bit of smoke in the room now, but the building is a big old kind of earthen brick, building, so you don't think the whole thing's going to burn down around your around your head, but you might get a lot of smoke, so it might start to get a bit difficult to see what's going on while you're all fighting. And we shall go back over to you guys. So what would you like to do, Aldoon? What would you like to do this turn?
Where's the green one?
He's kind of in the middle of the room, moving towards Alika. So Alika's over by the exit. You've gone over to Dodecimus. In the middle of the room is the green guy. You're kind of level with him into the room. But you're to one side and he's in the middle. And he's looking at Alika.
So he might be susceptible to being snuck up on, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, he's definitely not looking at you at all.
Okie dokie. Well, let's do that then. Let's attempt sneaking up and a smacking on the back of the head.
Okay.
I'll move over there and smack him on the back of the head. Yes.
You can move over there and smack him on the back of the head, yes.
Let's do that. One more thing then. Where's it go? Do I get any situational bonuses?
Oh, here we go. Situational bonuses. This is good. I think you get... it's not flanking and they're not blind. I think you get a +2.
Oh, so we're yeah. Amazing abilities to roll badly.
We'll see. It looks
Right.
just like a dude in a robe, so might not be.
You'd still be amazed.
Armor class 6. That's a hit.
Wow!
and 6
Wow.
damage. Okay.
Everything's coming up. We need a team name.
Yeah, what's happening? Everyone's the stabbening. We are the stabbening.
Well, mostly the thumpening.
Oh yeah, true.
I'm not even sure Alec actually stabbed. I think Thug just ran onto the big fork.
Still counts. Still counts. Okay, so you sneak up behind him, and you where you like round the legs or on the head, or what are you trying to
I
do?
head John is short, but I'm not sure he
Okay.
is. So because he's not his fixed, I have to keep telling myself that.
On his arm, maybe you're trying to hit the claw off his hand.
Oh yes, definitely. Yes, just wailing on that stupid green arm.
Okay, so you whack him across the arm. It doesn't come off. If I'd rolled a 6, it would have come off. But he's like, and he's like, you fool! You cannot challenge the power of the Crab King.
Well,
It
you are
is
not
here, manifest before your very eyes.
No, that is an arm you have painted green.
He looks at his
It's
hand
really
like this,
the
and he
power
turns
of
around,
the
and
Crab
he's
King.
getting ready to like whack you with it, but it's not his go yet. Laffel and Alika, are you going to move and attack someone, or are you going to stay where you are? Because neither of you are directly in melee combat right now. Because Laffel, you've just like obliterated someone into the nether realm.
No, I think this green armed fella is a good target. I'll move over to that one as well and give him a
Okay.
wallop, or attempt to at least.
Okay, well, yeah, you kind of shuffle between people fighting, and you have to like dance, like step over like someone fallen on the floor, and you come up to attack him from the other side.
And
So I'd say you get +1.
oh yay! Fingers crossed.
Oh, that's definitely a hit.
Excellent.
Yes.
9
And
damage.
you do 9 damage. He screams in pain as he turns with his claw, like pointing at you as if some kind of intimidating force will stop you in your tracks, and you smash his fingers and the claw, and his arm crumples, and he whimpers and he screams and he like collapses to the floor.
Excellent. I'll show him.
Yeah, and he's like lying there. He's dead.
Ooh.
I was going to taunt him a little bit more. I was very disappointed.
You know, there's not a lot of hit points in humans in Hyperborea. You know.
Noticed.
Okay. Alika, what do you want to do? There's lots of fighting going on.
There is, but she's going to kind of go forward, raise her sort of trident in the air. People of Husring, those of you who can fight, stand with us, and those of you who can't, put out the flames. That's all she's going to do. She's just trying to direct some people around, trying to
okay, right. Let's
fight the fires, basically.
Ooh. Do you have a charisma modifier?
I do not have a charisma modifier.
Do not have a charisma modifier. Okay, let's have a challenging task roll to see if you can. The fight seems to be going in your direction, right? You are beating these guys. People are seeing what's going on. There's smoke filling the room though, so it's a little bit difficult for you to like rabble rouse. But you kind of shout this out,
No,
and you fail, unfortunately. So,
that's unfortunate.
you cough a bit on the smoke. You stand up on a table and you realise as you got higher up, there's smoke at the top of the ceiling. And it doesn't quite come off with the heroic gravitas that you'd hoped. However, now that your turn is over, it is the cultist's turn. Oh no, sorry, Dodecimus. He is going to.
The red one hiding behind the bar.
He gets 3 every 2, right? So now it's got 2 attacks, hasn't he? I think.
Yes, that is how it works.
That is how it works, because he's a fighter. So he's gonna turn around and try and fight 2 guys. There's lots of people moving around, and there seem to be wailing on innocent folk, and he just kind of like brute force hacks at two individuals. That hits armor class 6, so that's a hit, and that's a hit as well. So the first guy takes I don't know, 9 damage, and the other guy takes 4 damage. So he cuts one guy's head off with a vicious hack of a piercing weapon, and then the second guy, he like gives him a horrible gut wound, and he like screams and looks up at this giant dude who's like not wearing his armor and just kind of happily, not even happily, just stone-faced murdering folk in the tavern. Cool. Okay. Now it's the cultists and their mob turn, and they are definitely going to have to make a morale roll with a penalty. Yeah, so the morale's going to be 2 lower, which makes it 4. So they need to roll 5 or more to run away. Yes. So suddenly, as the second echelon cultist is down and Dodecimus beheads a guy, the head flips through the air, lands on the table between 2 other thugs, and they scream in terror. Ah! And they're like, "Get the fuck out of here! Run!" And they like the thugs start to move away. The powerful Japheth's guys move into the room. They grab a couple of them, bonk them over the head, and chuck them into a corner and say, "Fucking stay there." But most of the thugs kind of scrabble and get out, run full pelt out of the tavern. You're not sure where the other first echelon guy is. You think he's scrabbling around in a back room somewhere.
Thugs, hello. If you are taking prisoners, there is a red-armed crab silly person somewhere in the back there.
One of them crab people.
Yeah.
They've run off into the room.
Try and take him alive. He says quietly.
You hear some fighting noises, and he's alive, sort of.
Oh, you heard that? Oh, that's a shame.
And then they drag him out. Dodecimus like turns around and surveys the field, kind of nods at you. Yes, a warm up indeed. And he goes back over to his table and sits down.
That's very good. Would you like a cloth or a mop?
Or a drink?
Maybe put out the fires.
He points at Lafal. The other bar goers are there, like putting things out, and Gerd has been going around putting out fires. He's more worried about his building burning down.
Is there any badly injured citizens?
There are some dead citizens, and there are a few badly injured citizens.
Well, I'm going to triage the citizens by worst injuries, and I will use magic and stuff to start healing people.
Okay.
So I can do 3 people. So there are only if there's 3 people near death, I will heal those first.
Yes, you heal 3 people.
I will use up all my
they're
spells.
extremely thankful. One is a miner, not the miner you know, but
I'll definitely heal the one. Another miner.
And he's like, as he comes to, because his whole face was like bashed on a table, his teeth had come out, and he was like, oh, like this, and you heal him, and he's like, oh, and he looks up at you, and he's like, and he kind of reaches out to touch you as if you're not real.
It's weird. Was he trying to touch my face, or was he?
Just like your shoulder, like.
Oh, it's fine. I'll let him touch my shoulder.
And he just kind of nods, and he's like, "This what's happened? What was going on?" Where did they come from?
Who knows? But you and your miner friends are okay. Except for the dead ones. I don't know if there's any dead miners. She looks around the room to see if there's any dead miners.
There's quite a few dead people in the room. There's dead cultists. There's dead miners. There's dead patrons. And Gerd's like, oh God. Well, hang on. Did Paffle Jaffet run off? And you hear a voice from the curtain at the side. No, I'm here.
Oh.
Now what the fuck is going on?
Maybe we should ask the prisoner.
The guys come out with this first echelon guy, and he's like kind of vaguely struggling, but you can tell he's been hit around the face with a big stick, so he's kind of bleeding from one side of his, this whole side of his face is kind of red, much like the claw that he's got painted red. And he's like, don't kill me, don't kill me. Because like Kalkos would not be happy if you kill me. And he looks over and he sees all the things, like, fuck. He like looks around, he's like, oh my God, who are you people? And the little guy, the old gangster, walks over and goes, I'm Paffle Jaffet. Now, what's going on? Where's this? And he points round at Alika. Give me the thing.
What thing?
Your drawing.
Oh! Yeah, here you go.
Where's this? And he's like, this guy is like young, doesn't seem to sort of have his head screwed on. He's horribly beaten and he's just crying. And he's like, useless. And Paffle Jaffet walks away. You guys talk to him.
Okay, Alika kneels down to him and like starts tending to his wound on his head.
He
Don't
flinches
panic.
away.
Don't panic. So I'm here to help you. But who are you here looking for?
He looks at Mr. Jaffet as he walks off.
You were here for Paffle Jaffet.
They're rabble rousers. They're stirring up malcontent, disturbing the peaceful citizens under the rule of the great Crab King. And half of the thugs all like spit on the floor and like, fuck you, don't, what the fuck are you talking about? And it's like they'll start getting a bit rowdy, and Paffle Jaffet's like, calm down.
Yeah, Alika shoots a look as well. It's like that look they throw over, someone throws over the shoulder. They shut the fuck up. Sorry about that. They can be a little bit rabble rousing.
We're just trying to take our fucking town back from you crab fuckers.
There's a lot of resentment on both sides, it seems. We're not going to solve the world's problems right now. However, how did you know Paffle Jaffet was going to be here?
We have an informant. And Paffle Jaffet's like looking around. He's suddenly like, I knew it, one of you fuckers.
Well, Mr. Jaffet, it might not be anyone in this room. It would be very unlikely that an informant would be in the room at the same time as a brawl's about to go down. That would be very silly. Do you know who the informant is, Mr. Gredclaw Man?
They don't tell me much of anything.
Your life mildly depends upon it.
I might be able to find out.
I'm afraid that we're not going to be able to let you go, because that would be foolish on our part. You'll get to continue living, but or maybe, I don't know. Actually, I don't know what the overall plan is. But if you've got information, that's more likely to lead to your life being extended a little bit longer.
He's trying to think really hard. He's like, they were talking about it. They had an informant. What was his name? I can't remember. Don't kill me, please. Look, let me think. I'll try and remember. I've just been bashed around the face with a big stick.
That's fair. You have time.
And the other guy's like, you were asking for it.
I'll point at the first cultist I whacked and say, "You got the better end of that deal. I think your friends are in much worse shape." I'd answer the question.
He suffers from a command word vomit spell, and pukes on the. He's like, from you pointing at you're like lifting up his.
No, just pointing at it.
Yeah.
Just pointing
and he's
at
just
it.
Like, I didn't think there was. I thought we were just gonna arrest. I didn't realize there was gonna be all of this death. This is crazy. It's
Crazy is the operative word here. Yes.
Mm.
He's like suddenly he's like, I don't know.
You don't remember?
No. Ulrich met with them.
Do you remember at least what he looks like? A description? Did you see him?
Yes. No, I don't remember the name, but I saw him, and he describes someone who sounds a lot like Gren.
Oh.
Ah.
We have very nice shoes.
Powerful Japheth's like, doesn't say anything, doesn't give up the information, but he looks at one of his thugs and he's like, and the other guy's like, and he walks off. We'll sort that out.
Yes. That person would have also been one of the few people who knew about this meeting. And is not here right now.
Yeah.
And also very loose-lipped. I mean, he told us pretty much everything without much of a threat.
It's true.
True.
Can I go?
No.
No, as I said, that would be very foolish of us. But you will get to live for a little bit longer.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. You take your red claw thing off. Gerd, do you have like the keys? Yeah, that's fine. Don't worry. Gerd, do you have like the keys for the jail cells upstairs?
Yeah. Well, yeah. We've got some downstairs if you want.
Oh, lovely. Put these lovely cultist people in one of those. Basic food and water to keep them alive.
Okay.
No killing, Paffle Jaffet.
He looks at you like. Okay, so Gerd and a couple of the thugs, Paffle Jaffet's thugs, take the cultist off, and the other thugs that they had in the corner takes them off to the cells. And Paffle Jaffet comes over and sits at a table, pushes a dead body off of it, and picks up like a glass of wine or something that's on the table, and it's like, oh, one hell of a day.
I'll say.
Oh, you did well. You did well.
I thought you were going to leave us for a little while there, Paffle. Not going to lie.
Well, I thought you'd set me up for a minute there. But once it all started setting to and you showed you could handle yourselves, you know, I thought, okay, give him a chance. And I want that thing. If you guys can get it, then we can have it. And they don't get it.
But what's your plan with it?
Protect this beautiful town from others who try to take over.
That's a great idea and a very lofty goal. But who gets to control the weapon?
And I'll give you 300 gold pieces. He makes a point of counting the three of you and goes, 100, 100, 100. 300 gold pieces. How's that sound?
Sounds like a lot of gold.
It does sound like a lot of gold. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like you can count.
I'm more concerned about the long-term effects of you having control of that weapon. Perhaps there could be like a weapon committee that has to decide how the weapon is used. Do you know who's very balanced and very fair and very neutral? Oh, Vandros.
Oh, Vandros, yes, of course.
He'd be great. Maybe he should control the weapon.
Well, he's a He's a blacksmith who works for anybody who can give him the money.
It's true. It's true.
Give it a gird, he jokes.
That's actually a great idea. Gerd, would you like to be in control of a
Gerd comes
city
back down the
defending
stairs. He's like, what?
a city defending weapon? Would you like to be in charge of it?
What? Are you? What? Are you? Huh? He's powerful. Jaffa goes, get us some more drinks. Go, be a good guy.
If I may, let us maybe make this plan once we actually have the weapon in our control.
That's true.
Sure.
We have several plans that need to come off ridiculously well for any of us to still be alive by the end of tomorrow.
Yeah. And you said something about mountains.
Yes.
You want to head up there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Where's Ricky? He turns around. Where's Ricky?
Ricky!
And this guy, one of the thugs comes out and he's like, yeah? He's like, Rick, come over here. He goes, Ricky's my man. He goes up in the mountains all the time, takes messages. He's like, Mr. Jaffet, sir, I'm not sure I want to go up again. Last time I nearly didn't come back in one piece. It's like, you'll be fine, kid. Don't worry.
Don't worry, we got Dodecimus.
The Roman just like raises his head to look at you at the mention of his name, and then sort of turns back. He's cleaning his nice sword. So what about, when these guys don't come back? I mean, we're gonna fuck off into the tunnels. What about you guys?
Oh, well, myself and Leffel are going to go and pose as guards for the gem shipment tomorrow.
Okay. Right. And you'll be in the mountains.
Yeah.
Gerd, you can come with us. You can close the bar for a little bit. Gerd's like, I think, yeah. Sounds about right. Because, if they came in here and then they didn't come out, then they're going to think that I was part of it. I mean, I was, and I'm happy. Don't get me wrong. But, running the bar might still be difficult.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah, just put up a sign close for renovations. I see
Would-
bars do that all the time.
I like it.
I mean, it's accurate. You
I
have
like your
something.
thinking. We'll go back down into the tunnels. You take Ricky and that up into the mountains, and you two are going to infiltrate. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I like your plan. When you see Bereth up in the mountains, tell him to get his fucking ass in gear. There's shit going on down here. Tell him about that thing.
Will do.
He'll be back. Then you'll have a council talking about who can use it.
That's a great
Just wanna
idea.
Stick it on a tower and point it at the road. No one will come and attack our city again.
That is a great idea.
Okay. Fine. Okay. Right. It's probably time to be going then. It's been a pleasure meeting you and seeing you at work. I have some confidence that you'll be able to get there and back in mostly one piece.
He's hoping.
Do you need a horse?
Do we need horses to go up the mountain?
It would definitely be faster.
Yeah.
Then yes, please.
But we're going to need a big one for the Roman.
Okay. We'll get a couple of 3, he says, looking at Ricky. 3 horses. Okay. Well, as I said, boys, he says, drinking another glass of wine. Nice to meet you all. Watch out for fish folk.
You watch out for fish folk.
Oh, we've been trying to hunt down their nest. They're all over the place. Step
One
the place
problem
up.
at a time.
We would offer to
Sure.
help. We're busy stealing a giant ruby.
Yeah.
crazy crab cult and starting an insurrection. So, plate is full.
Sure. Well, I'll leave you, and he sort of gestures to you and the kind of few patrons who are still hanging around to, he gestures at the mass of bodies and blood. Enjoy. And he sort of strolls off. His thugs kind of part so he can go between them, and then they step in and kind of give you the tough man stare down, as they walk sort of backwards, and then and then they all turn and they leave, and Ricky's there and he's like, what are we doing?
You've got to get me and Dodecimus into the mountains to meet Bereth. And then we're going to attack the shipment of the ruby.
And when are we doing this?
Now.
Like now.
The ruby's being moved tomorrow.
Okay.
We've had to move up the time scale a little bit. We thought we would have more
No
time.
shit.
Very sorry.
No shit. Okay. All right. Well, he's got gear with him, and weapon, and he's got his boots and clothes and cloak and all that kind of stuff. So looks like he's ready to travel. And Dodecimus has made a small selection of gear from his array of weaponry, and he says to both of you, "Do you have any ranged weapons?" And Ricky's like, "I like to get up close," and he's like got a dagger and a short sword.
Alika looks at her trident. I can throw this. Does that count?
No, don't do that. We've talked about this.
He holds up a short bow and he says, "Do either of you know how to use this?"
You put an arrow in this bit and you pull it and let go, right?
He gives it to you.
Theoretically, yes.
And then he sticks 20 arrows in your hands in a quiver.
Lovely. Sure. She had no skill to use this whatsoever, but sure. Actually, technically she can use it. It is one of her favoured weapons. She can use a short bow.
Okay.
It'll be fine. That well-known underwater weapon of the short bow.
Yeah.
We call it a harpoon.
Harpoon bow.
You just fire it sideways.
Okay, so he gives you a short bow and some arrows. And he says, "Look, harpies are foul, stupid creatures, but they tend to swoop attack. So arrows is often a good deterrent, if not necessarily killing them.
Okay.
Often just firing arrows at harpies can keep them at bay."
That sounds like a plan. Thank you, Dodecimus.
You kids have fun.
Yeah, I bet.
Okay, so we're going to split the party with a journey and then a combo back together again.
Yeah.
That's the plan.
Hey,
Nothing bad ever happened when you split the party.
no. In fact, I think you should split the party. I think it creates wonderful situations. Okay, so Dan, Alika goes and gets her gear.
Yep.
And Dodecimus has got his traveling gear, and Ricky is there as well. And Ricky was there as well. And you go outside, and there is a livery worker has arrived with like 3 horses, and he's kind of looking around, and it goes, "Oh, Ricky," and he's like, "You all right, mate? How you doing?" He's like, yeah. I've been told someone stopped by, said I need to bring you 3 horses, well, 2 and a big one, and he's got like not quite a Shire horse, but like a bigger, one of his bigger horses, and he hands them over to you. No need for change of money, or anything like that.
All been sorted.
It's all been sorted. And they got saddlebags with food in. Nothing fancy, like road biscuits and hard tack, that kind of jerky type setup. But with water water skins on them as well. So you guys get on your horses and you start to ride out of town. Ricky talks a lot, and he's like clearly quite nervous. He's, I've been up in the mountains several times. I'm just a messenger, and I go fast, I get in and I get out. I've seen the harpies a few times. They get harassed. They're at this old, watchtower. They're all holed up. There's 50 of them. With Berith. Now, there is a reason he used to wear a sack. His face is covered in hideous boils. It's a blessing from Zathokwa, but they have a tendency occasionally to burst.
That is unfortunate.
Yes. No one talks about it though, because obviously he's in charge, so we don't bring it up. It's a wonderful blessing, but he used to be considerate enough, because small children and women were a bit horrified by his countenance. So he would wear like a bag over his head.
Oh, so that's why he's the sack master.
Yeah. It became a thing of note. His words of wisdom were great. It didn't matter if he wore a sack on his head. It was what came out of the sack that was important. So he's been running Huskrin for a long time, and when they came to get him, someone, we don't know who, right, took the sack off his head without asking and put it on, and the legend says pushed him down a sewer into the tunnels below, where he was found by Pafel Jaffet's men. He then left, knowing that all the stuff was going to kick off. I don't know all the details, but he took some soldiers and they went off into the mountains. They knew there was this old outpost near the mines. It's from a long time ago. I don't know all that history stuff, whatever. But they're out there waiting to come back and free the town.
Good. Now's their time.
Well, we keep hearing them trying to do stuff and do raids and things, but they keep talking about getting harassed by harpies, and Mr. Jaffet thinks they're making excuses and they're just hiding out there and they're not going to come back and they're leaving us to our lot in Huskrin. So, I'm often met by someone on the road and we exchange messages and I head back. So I've been up to the fort, the watchtower once. It's got a wide base and it tapers up to a conical roof, which is half smashed, and one of the walls has been taken out, it looks like, by some sort of, boulder, ages ago. But yeah, they were kind of in and around there with some tents and he's in the tower and some stuff going on. But I'm not important enough to go and talk to Berith himself. I'm just Ricky, mate. I'm just a guide. But,
You're being very helpful today, though, Ricky. So
well, no offense to you, but if I don't, I'm in trouble. But you seem like a nice lady, so I'm willing to help you and your monstrous friend. And it turns around with a kind of bemused half grin, half don't mess with me kind of look on his face, and he's like, "Yep."
Decimus is deep down a teddy bear. Don't worry about it.
He's like, "Oh, I'm not sure."
She doesn't look at Decimus.
Yeah. He's a teddy bear.
She just says it. She doesn't know anything about Decimus at all. In fact, her only experiences of Decimus at this moment in time are violence. So,
death.
Yes.
So you head out of town.
Yep.
And you make your way along the tracks. There's trade routes along the area, right? And Ricky says to you that if you move along certain routes as you head out of town and then shortcut across country back to the routes that are the trails up into the mountains, normally there's no one around. The cultists are very focused on the town and the mine, and they're not really patrolling anywhere in between. The Sackmaster used to send out little patrols, little 2-man patrols, just going around making sure there was no horrible banditry or villainy, and if there was, then more people would come from the town to try and sort it out, right? But at the moment, they don't seem to be bothered about that. They're kind of in the town on the edge of the ocean, and they're kind of waiting to make a bigger move.
That makes sense.
So you kind of make your way along one of the trade routes that could probably lead you up to Tanu Rin or one of the smaller villages on the way up. And then after a while, he's been sort of checking around and looking out, and you haven't really seen many people. He cuts across country, and this huge wall of mountains. I'm just going to get the map out. Oh, actually, I've got a map on the thing. There we go. Yeah, there's a huge wall of mountains to the southeast, and you know that the mine is at the base of those mountains, and these trails would take you up across the river that flows out into the sea, but you're not heading that direction. So you are making your way up into the mountains, and after a while, it's like getting dark, right? So it's late, and he says to you, it's really dangerous to do this at night, but we're only a couple of hours away from the tower. I don't know if you want to press on slowly or wait till we have light.
We need to press on because we need to be ready by tomorrow.
Okay, but look, don't blame me if one of these horses breaks an ankle or something on the way up. It's going to be difficult if we lose one of the mounts. Let's hope nothing bad happens.
Let's just move safely, or as safely as we can.
Safely. Okay. Let's have a simple task check from Alika. You have no, sorry, it's just a simple task check. It is right now. Okay, success. So you sort of head into, it's getting dark, you're going into the mountains, and at first the trail's, it's not wide, but there's room for you to go single file.
Yeah.
You're aware that if there were flying creatures around here, you would be in quite a tricky situation because there's rocky outcroppings all around, scree slopes, and you're kind of wending your way up these kind of narrow trails through the mountains. You probably have cover to dive into if you wanted to, but your horses would be left exposed, and probably a more viable target than you, right? So you kind of make your way up. And
do we have torches, or are we moving just by sort of the moonlight?
It's up to you. Do you want to have torches?
Yeah, we'll have some torches. I think given that the ground is pretty rough, and also we kind of do need to see upwards a little bit, even though we're not going to see into the deep dark blue of the sky, maybe something that might cast a shadow against something that might be flying above us might be useful.
Okay. So you light some torches, and you keep going into the night, and after a couple of hours, you've been going up, right? And this pass goes over a ridge, and you're aware it's probably going to go down into some sort of valley on the other side. And at the top of this ridge, you can see the kind of ramshackle sort of silhouette of this watchtower, and there are a few little low lights flickering around inside through some of the arrow slits, and you get the sense that there's people moving around the base of it, still in the kind of rocky outcroppings. You can't kind of make out the tents just yet, but you can definitely see it up ahead. And Ricky's like, yeah, like there you go. Someone's probably seen us, and they'll be coming out any minute.
Okay.
I would suggest we don't have any weapons out. Dodecimus puts his sword away. He seems a bit nervous now that they're this close with more people. It's not his usual thing. And in fact, you do hear, and see someone coming down the pass towards you. There's 4 horses, and one of them is carrying like a big lantern on on a pole type thing. So it's kind of hanging. So there's a bit more light cast. And 2 of them are carrying crossbows. And the one at the front seems to be not wielding a weapon, but has a sword and shield, around about, and chainmail. And they ride down, and they're like, "Oh, who goes there? Who comes here in the dark? You're fools you are to tread these trails, and by the moonlight, even torchlight is difficult enough." And Ricky goes, "It's me. It's Ricky. I'm a messenger from Mr. Jaffet." And indeed you are, but who are these folk with you here? He says, turning to you.
Hello, my name's Alika of the House of Zam, and this is my compatriot Dodecimus. We're here to speak to Bereth. Important crab
Sackmaster
business.
Bareth.
Yes, Sackmaster Bereth, yeah.
Important business.
Yeah, about the crab people and the giant ruby in the mines.
Oh, his eyes white. You see the whites of his eyes like increase in the dark, and he's like, wait here. And he turns around and trots carefully. Even though they know this area, it's dangerous mountain trails, and it kind of heads up. And after a while, a figure comes walking down the trail. A man, and he is not wearing a sack, and his face is covered in horrible pustules and large boils. They're huge. They partially obscure his eyes and around his mouth, and it's pretty gross. He says, "Good evening, friends. I understand you come from Pafel Jaffet with important news about the fate of our fair town."
That is correct. My name is Alika of the House of Zam. I am a Lalantian. You might not be able to see it in this light, but my skin's a different color. Just so you don't get shocked when the sun comes up. But people in the town have started calling me the Grey Lady. I don't know if that news has made its way up here just yet. Just kind of pauses for a moment while they all look around. But we have brought news regarding the big giant ruby in the mines and the crab people and what they intend to use it for. And we have a plan, but we need your help.
You have a plan for my town?
Well, we've actually been really helping your town. In fact, today we killed a load of the crab people.
Ricky's like, they did. It was gross, but it was amazing. There was like a raid by those crab guys. And he raises his hand. He goes, "Very well. I sense something about you, my good lady, something noble. Maybe it is your lineage. Maybe your deeds give you an air. But come up into the camp, and we will talk. Let us not talk here where the harpies may prey upon us."
That's a good idea.
You go up into the camp, and there's sort of tents tucked in next to like little outcroppings, not the scree slopes, because they don't want a big rock to tumble down and crush a tent, but sort of the little outcroppings, a bit more like boulders, can kind of hide these tents. And they're grey material. It looks like they've kind of spread dust on them, so they look a little bit like camouflaged, So, they look like they're not complete idiots out here. And he sits down around a roaring fire, and there are just people, like soldiers in studded leather armour and chainmail, moving about. And he's kind of pats one guy on the back, and he's like, "Ah, yes, tend to your soup. Your broth is boiling over there." And he's like, "Ooh," and he seems to move amongst them like as a very welcome sort of leader. And he sits down and looks at you, and the firelight illuminates these horrible. One of them is kind of like weeping pus dripping down the side, and he says, "Please tell me of the Eye of the Crab King."
Okay, and she's going to put out the drawing. She had a
He
mobile
takes
drawing.
it from you. There seems to be. He looks at it. This is Vandro's hand.
Yes, it is. It's a weapon.
A weapon.
The crab people are making him build it. They're going to insert the ruby in the top, and then it's going to be like. That is how Alika describes it.
Sure. I have heard of the light weapons of the crabmen from the pearlescent tower. I hope that this was not true. Is there more?
Well, we have a plan. So I have two compatriots. Ricky can vouch for these two chaps. They have been infiltrating the crab cults, and got to the point where they have
10
been.
guys spit on the floor when you say the crab cult.
Yes, absolutely, all correct. They're awful. They really don't like me. There's a bounty on my head. So yeah, they're going to insert themselves into the crab cult. They've already had an offer of employment to guard the ruby when it travels down the mountain tomorrow, which is where we come in.
And you wish for us to swoop down upon them?
Yep, with my friends on the inside and us on the outside, and Paffle Jaffet in the town, hopefully ready. We might be able to launch this rebellion into full swing.
Very well. This sounds like the best opportunity we've had in a long time. We've had many losses. And he stands up suddenly, putting his foot on a rock. We've had many losses from these foul creatures that live here within the mountains, and the people start turning around. But here a glimmer of hope in the shape of this Atlantean, the enemy of the Crab King, comes before us, tells us great tidings of our time to strike. I told you all to have faith in Zathokwa. One of the things goes, and some pus comes out of his face. And here we have our moment. This very night, you good men around me here witness the turning of the tide. And he kind of has a little bit of a wink. And we shall surge down from the mountains and reclaim our birthright. Come with me now, drink. And he kind of fetches up a flagon. And everyone's like, yes. And he goes, we shall free our town from the evil crab cult. Come with me now. They're like, Berith, Sackmaster, Berith. Cheering. And they're all drinking and stuff. And Ricky's taken up in it. And Dodecimus turns to you and says, I have a feeling that most of these men will be dead tomorrow.
Yes, they probably will, but don't tell them that.
And there we're going to take a little break while I nature break and refill my cup, and we're going to come back and we're going to do the infiltration side of the story.
Oh, I hope it goes well.
So please don't go anywhere. Yeah,
Everything
this is going to
else
be
has
fun.
gone well.
This is going to be fun. Please don't go anywhere. We're going to go and refill our cups. When we come back, we shall carry on. See you momentarily. And we're back. Okay, so we just had Ali Kazam make her way into the mountains. Now we rewind back to the three horses riding off. Jean and Laffel, what do you wish to do? Are you going to go sign up tonight, or are you going to wait till the morning?
I think possibly the morning.
Yeah.
I think maybe a nice nap. Possibly not in the inn. The inn is meant to be closed. We might have to find somewhere else to sleep.
Yeah. Find somewhere else to sleep is a good idea. Possibly clean off any blood, gore, brain matter from weapons and armor would be a good one.
Yes, we're sensible.
Yeah, you've got a bit more to clean off than the others, Slaffle.
Yeah.
Maybe if we make our way back to the residential quarter, where the empty temple is, we could stay there. If there are not too many patrols.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
we
very
could do
true,
that.
actually. Yeah.
As you get your gear together, Gerd comes over and says, "Look, thank you for all you're doing. Like everything you're doing, helping the town. You know, I know Paffle Jaffet's like old crime boss, basically used to run the docks, squeeze money out of people, control the flow in and out of the town. Now he's doesn't want to let go, obviously. So he's fighting the good fight, but maybe not for all the right reasons. So like, I understand you're a bit concerned about his desires, but we should probably go along with him for now, right? And such."
He was saying that he was willing to enter into some sort of power sharing with Varys and maybe Vandross and maybe even yourself. I would not underestimate your
I
influence.
don't know if he wasn't just saying that to make you guys go off and do your plan.
Well, we've paid the
If you fail, it's no skin off his nose, right?
As I say, we will see who is still alive tomorrow, and then we will make another plan.
Oh, by the way, and he pulls out a bag. I guess we rounded up some crap off of the bodies.
Oh,
he sticks it on the table in front of you. I figure you guys can use this more than I can right now.
The bag?
Yeah, much appreciated.
Is it shells?
No, there's a bag. It's got some money in it.
No.
50 gold pieces.
Kind of you. I'm not quite sure where we're going to spend it, but.
And bear with me. There's a scroll in there. And there is a. Hang on. Sorry, I just have to check the check a table. There is the vambrace. Is that the right word? Vambrace.
Yep.
From the crab dude. The claw bit was completely smashed, but the vambrace is there, and it looks kind of metallic. It would probably improve your armor class by 1 if you wore it. It's more of a sort of.
I think maybe if we are trying to infiltrate the crab cult, and maybe later, it's very nice.
Sure, makes sense. And there is a small ruby in the bag.
Oh, a little ruby for a little litter. For a little crab. Oh, look.
And separately, but you kind of pick it up and realize that it probably goes with the ruby. It's like it's almost like an enclosing ring or something. Not like a. No, it kind of goes across the knuckles, and then the ruby sits in it. You're not sure what that's about.
Can I try it on?
Yeah, it fits your hand, and when you look, you've kind of got like a ruby, like here.
A ruby knuckle duster?
I mean, it looks. I wouldn't punch someone with a ruby because you might shatter the ruby. But the ruby, in and of itself, if you were to sell it, would probably get you lots of money.
Oh, excellent.
There is a faint bit of green paint on the kind of knuckle aperture thing. Like maybe he was wearing the thing under his, but ruby might have come out, or it was in a bag or something, or in a pocket or something. You're not sure.
Maybe this is his focus. Maybe this is where the magic missile came from.
Yeah.
Okay, well, another mystery. Maybe when all the dust has settled and the chitin has fallen to the bottom of the sea, we'll talk to, I don't know, maybe Ferris would be able to help us with this.
Yeah, very likely.
Yeah, that's not a bad shout actually. She could
missile.
probably have a look at that for you. Take it off your hands if you don't want it. Probably she's quite wealthy, and she's I did tell you she's like a wizard, right? So you've got to be careful.
No, you didn't mention this bit.
She's a wizard, so you've got to be careful.
Thanks, Gert.
Appreciate it.
Any other little tiny bits of information that might be useful, half the
Well, there were lots of people around earlier on. I was kind of intimating or, inferring or... No, you infer, don't you? I imply. Or is it the other way around? Can't remember. Anyway, you forgot this, and he holds up a small bottle. And it's got kind of a trace of seaweed around the edges. And it's like a bluey-green liquid with bubbles floating in it.
Did I forget that?
It's like, I
What's
have
this?
no idea what this is. This was on the floor. It must have fallen out of his pocket or something.
All right.
Hello, bubbly liquid. Okay. What? Okay. So, what is the scroll? What is the weird vial? Don't have any ability to identify any of this.
Do you have any ability to identify any of this stuff?
Well, not magic.
You're a purloiner, right? No,
Purloiner. I am indeed a purloiner.
I'm looking in the wrong book. That would be the wrong book for such things. I don't think you do, to be honest. I think you are. The scroll is clearly written in some kind of arcane language which you cannot read.
I've got scroll use.
Have you got scroll use?
Scroll use.
To decipher and invoke scrolls with spells that are included in the cleric spell list. Unless the scrolls... yeah. So, you can't read it.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, that's nice. Okay, I'll just put that in the bag with everything else. And as for the potion, I'll just have to drink it. When the time is right.
When the time is right. When we feel like it. Maybe as toast. Who knows?
Everything's gone horribly.
Yes.
Maybe
definitely.
Alika can look at the scroll at a later point. Maybe she knows what's up with it.
So maybe this first person who apparently is a wizard.
Oh, very true. Yeah.
Okay. So Gert, we need somewhere to spend the night that is not your fine establishment. Because yours is closed for renovation. Wink.
Well, you could probably bunk down with Paffle Jaffet's guys. Or, basement of my safe house.
The basement of your safe house is a lot better than Haffley.
Yeah.
Sure.
Don't want to smell a sewer again.
Oh, also this, but mostly I was thinking just not, you lie down with the thugs, you get up with the fleas.
I mean, yeah, sure. This is true. No, that's fine. I don't mind. I'll take you there in a bit. I'm just sorting a couple of bits out before I leave.
Tidy up the bar.
You know what? I'm going to leave it like it is. I think that looks better in case anyone comes in and they see that it's all smashed up. We've moved all the bodies out. So, other than that, I think we'll leave it.
No.
I'll sort it out another time. He's sort of almost like he's half like not dealing with it. It's fine.
No.
So he sorts out his last few things, gets a few large bags from one of the back rooms, and puts it all in a large backpack and puts it on, and it's like, right, okay, let's go. And he takes you through the underground entrance to the tavern, and you head through sewer tunnels for 5-10 minutes until he comes to a ladder going up, and he climbs up some rungs, does a little knocking pattern on a trapdoor, 1 4 3 1, and the thing gets opened, and there's a young lad on the other side. Oh, Dad, you're back. Dad's like, come on, move out of the way. Come on, let us through. Us? He says, yeah. I brought some of those people I was telling you about. The special ones. The kind of out of towners. Yeah, that's it. And they move out of the way and let you climb up. And you come into a basement. It's quite similar to the one that you were in previously under that hovel.
Mm.
Just no fish people eating someone.
I like what you've done with the place.
It's full of boxes and storage, and there's like a rack of swords over there. What's he got in this place? And he shuts the thing, and there's like big bars and locks that go across it. And then now that he's up there, he moves something heavy on top of it as well. And he's like, well done, Dag. And the boy's like, thanks, Dad. And he's like, heads off. He's like, go and get some food. Right. He kind of shuffles a few things around, makes a space for you. So there's enough floor space for you to lie down. And he says, okay, look, it's probably best if you guys just stay down here. Right. Stay out of sight until you need to do whatever you need to do, and then I can let you out upstairs.
Okay.
If that's all right with you.
Yeah, no, this is fine. We did not want to endanger your family. We did not realize.
It's just me and the boy. Don't worry. We can take care of ourselves. He goes upstairs and comes back down with some bowls of like stew. Puts them on the side. He's like, I know it's late and I know you've eaten, but all that action might stir up an appetite. And he puts down a flagon, like a jug of ale. Is that right? Well, I'm knackered, so I'm off to bed. I'm going to lock this door. No offense. If you want to get out, just knock on the door, and one of us will come and let you out. All right? I'm not trying to lock you in anywhere. You could always get out down below because the locks are on the inside of that one, so you can get to that one. But just for safety.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. All good.
Okay, and he goes off and locks the door. And you guys can sleep.
Look the room.
Loot the room.
Everything in the back.
No.
So, I'm assuming you sleep.
Yes. Well, have a snack.
Have a snack.
Yeah.
Little bit of food, and then go to sleep.
Yep.
You're woken fairly early as the door, is banging on the door. And then, not like mad banging, just like knocking on the door, sorry. And then it opens, and Gerd comes in, and he's like, right, sun's up. And he comes in and puts some bread on the side for you. And another jug of ale. And says, we're upstairs when you're ready.
Okay, well, we must be on our way shortly. We have much to do.
Got a report for duty, so to say, right?
We must present ourselves, be found to be acceptable, and then go and liberate a giant ruby. Busy day.
Sounds. I wish I could go with you.
No, you don't.
No, I don't. No, I don't.
No.
You guys are crazy, but we need some crazy people in these times. It's crazy times.
Yes, well, we will need insurrection in the town as well, so your time will come.
I've got you covered. Got you covered.
Thank you, Gerd.
Right, look. Good luck. Good luck. I hope your friend Alika has made it up into the mountains in one piece. They should be there by now, right? Hopefully, sleeping off a good old piss up with Bereth and his crew. They do like their mead. Was it mead? They liked. I can't remember. Anyway.
Well, let's hope they haven't drunk too much, because they
True.
also have a busy day.
They do. They do. Right.
Yep.
So he lets you guys leave. And you are sort of a few roads over from the big square where the tavern was. So it doesn't take you long to get back to the temple.
Sort of brush ourselves up and
Yeah.
kind of make ourselves look more martial than probably we usually look.
Okay.
Usually try and downplay the...
Tuck everything in, belts tightened, weapons on show.
Put the cloak at the back rather than across.
Mm-hmm.
Get the shells out.
Oh, yeah, shell up, obviously.
Okay. Okay, so you present yourself to the temple.
Yeah.
And when you arrive, there are a few other people who look slightly, soldiery, although they're clearly not as adventure ready as your good selves. These look like some people who live in the town who want something else. They want to get paid. They've heard that there's a guard job going. Maybe they used to be soldiers and they haven't run away. So there's a few other folk there, and Klobos is kind of inspecting them. Yes. You two will be fine. You, I'm afraid. No soldier slouches like that. Off, and he's got his blue claw, and he's kind of like nearly hitting him in the face. It's like flapping it in his face. And it's like, and he kind of walks out. So these two other folk are there when you arrive, and he's like, he kind of, what was your name again? Sorry, he says, pointing at you, Aldoon.
Clubbers of the third echelon. My name was Jean Greystoke.
Jean, that was it. Greystoke. Yes, is this, and I assume this is your compatriot who's...
This is my fine associate. Yes, I find upstanding guard. Done much guarding with them. This is Lafayette Good. Can vouch for their character and for the quality of their thumping.
Pleased to meet you.
Interesting. It's good that you've come and with a companion. We're lighter on numbers today than I'd hoped we would be.
Surely nothing can stop the rise of the Crab King.
No, nothing can stop the rise of the Crab King. They may hold on with dear life like barnacles, but they will all be plucked and cast asunder. And the other two people in the room are like suddenly sort of look like they're questioning their choices. Says, but yes, you will be paid. This is excellent that you are here. We have some of our brute squad available to escort you and lead you to the mine. But as specialists, the four of you will be responsible for the safe transfer of the Eye of the Crab King.
We will be the core defense. We will surround it and defend it with our steel.
Very good.
I was going to send a member of our second echelon to escort you. However, he has not reported in this morning.
It is most laggardly of them. Is
So-
this normal?
Indeed, you are correct. And he turns to look at remember the big mural that's being painted. It's not finished. And there's that one artist who's still there kind of painting, and he looks very tired. He said, "My great work is not yet finished, but Without strong leadership, I fear this mission may be washed away like flotsam. So I will be joining you on this trip.
Such a thing must be beneath you, Globus of the Third Echelon.
Normally I would agree with you. However, the Eye of the Crab King is vital to Kalkos's plans here along the coast. And I am honoured to be his hand, his instrument, his claw in the achievement of his plans. So I will join you, and we together will ensure the safety of the Eye of the Crab King back here and to the temple.
Honored to have you with us. We look
Indeed.
forward to standing bravely behind you and supporting your strength.
As you're there, a young blacksmith who you recognise, you don't know his name, but you recognise him from Vandro's place, comes in, and he's got a leather kind of cloth kind of folded over, and he comes in and he says, we were told to attend you as soon as each piece was completed. And he kind of unfurls it in this kind of weird coily, like brass piece, you know, with a aperture and a nozzle at the other end. He says, and Clover slams the leather back over the top. He says, "Yes, I was, but not in front of these folk. Tell Vandro he's treading a fine line." Yeah, very well. Excellent. He pulls it back over, but also tell them that this is very fine work. And he kind of wraps it up and takes it away from him. Yeah, once all the pieces are finished, then we will be ready. Is he still still time until it's finished? Why can we not do this quicker? It's like, sir, it's very, very delicate work. It's very... He gets bored halfway through what the guy says and he's like, fine, go. And as the guy goes, he's like, here it is a sign. All the pieces fall into place. Yes. Excellent. Very well. Prepare yourselves. We shall leave within the hour.
Yes, I will brief these other two that you have hired so that we may comport ourselves as a team.
Very well, Greystoke. You sort out the.
The minutiae. It is beneath you. Do not worry.
Indeed, we have. Please, if you could do the organisation outside. We still need to. I still wish to spend each moment I can completing this beautiful work of art. And the artist is kind of looking at you over his shoulder, like, I'm doing all the work.
It's an extraordinary vision that you have, Globus, that you are projecting onto the wall.
He's looking at you like, oh, yeah. You will go far. The other two people walk out. All right, who are you?
Right back at you.
I'm Churn. This is Javis.
No, Laughful.
Churn and Javis. Have you done much guarding before, Churn and Javis?
We were town guards.
But you did not decide to go into the mountains with the other town guards when the crab
No, I've
got...
been told that they've all been killed by harpies.
No, this is a lie.
Is it?
Yes, they would just wait in the mountains, waiting for a signal to rise up and retake the town.
Javis says, I told you, Churn. Why do you think they need guards on the bloody caravan coming back from the mine? If there's... I thought the harpies were going to attack the caravan. And Javis is like, oh, I'm sorry. My friend Churn is a very good soldier. But... And Churn looks at him, don't you... He's like, okay, look. We just want to get paid, right? We know how to do this. There's not much else going on. They don't let us too close to anything. Or there's all these bloody thugs running around. He sort of points down the road. And you can see there's a gang of those brute squad kind of walking up, and they're all like jostling each other and looking like kind of a big squad of football hooligans.
I would not worry too much about them. LFL, I think you still have a little bit of the thug squad on
Oh,
your.
sorry, I'll just.
What? Who are you guys?
We are the salvation of your tiny town.
What?
We are the salvation of your tiny town.
Subcontractors.
We are compatriots of the Grey Lady. And if money is the problem, we're
Pull
willing
the
to-
other one. That's a load of shit.
What have you heard of the Grey Lady?
There's some, like, I don't know, briny bint that's rose up out of the sea to come and help us fight
Yes.
off the Crab King.
This is the
About
one-
right.
It's bullshit.
Yeah, she heals the sick. She looks especially.
Oh, yeah.
She stabs people with a giant fork.
Well, she tries to.
No, she did yesterday, remember?
That was more the person stabbing the trident than the trident stabbing the person.
I mean, you say stab, I say stab.
Churn says, that sounds like she's an experienced fighter who's set for a charge.
Yes.
That's a tactical, that's not an accident, that's a tactical decision. Jarvis is like, now you've got fucking brains. What's going on? It's like, look, shut up.
You said he was a very good soldier, so no, when it comes to the soldiering, obviously that's very clear. Look, if it's about money, we can double whatever Blue Claw is paying you.
10.
About your town, then help us, and hopefully we can drive out the crab cult.
They kind of look at each other and like, we'll talk more about this when these guys aren't around. These are the guys you got to worry about.
Yeah. Well, we're doing
Half of
this.
them are from Tanu Rin. And then this group of guys turn up, and they have got a load of animals with them, pack animals. They've got some mules and some horses. They've got a few little carts being pulled along, a few hand cart things. And some of them have got bows and arrows, some of them have got short swords and kind of cruddy shields, little wooden round shields. And they're like, yeah, we're the squad. We're here to come with you guys. We've been told you are the specialists.
Yes.
Guilty as charged.
Sounds like bullshit to me, but whatever the boss says, we're on board. Klobos knows everything.
Yes, and Clubbers will be coming with us. So if you would
What?
like to question his choices a little bit more, maybe say it louder.
No. That was a vote of confidence in our, benevolent so and so. He's fantastic. Klobos is fantastic, isn't he? I was just saying, and the other's like, yeah, you were just saying how awesome Klobos is. Yeah, absolutely.
Don't backpedal so hard you might trip.
Oh, all right. It's not round. And then the door opens, and he's like,
Yes, he's right.
descends from the stairs. So I am fetching to the temple briefly. Greystoke. Organize the teams. Get everything ready. I'll be back in some time, but before the hour. And he kind of walks off. And they all look at you like, what did you do to get in charge?
Well, clearly, some of us took the bus a little bit better.
Oh, it's like that, is it?
Yes, it is like that.
Fine. Right. So what? We're pulling the carts and you guys are keeping an eye out. Is that how it works?
Pretty
Yes.
much.
Also, the horses, we will be riding them. And Churn, Jarvis,
Boss?
I'm going to put you in charge of the thug squads. Divide them into two, however you think is best.
Churn starts doing that just like straight away. Like you, bow, sword, bow, sword, bow, sword, bow, sword. I
Excellent.
suggest, boss, that one of us takes each flank of the caravan as we pass. You don't want to cross the train. It gets tricky maneuvering from one side of animals to another in a heated combat environment.
Very wise. Excellent.
They start to look a bit like, oh shit, these guys seem to know what they're talking about, and they're just like guys with sharp sticks, you know.
We specialists will form the diamond that will surround the central wagon. You others will mass the flanks.
They've got like a proper. Most of the carts are like open, you know, with a little bench on the front to sit on, you know, and a flatbed back with little walls on the sides, but it's open at the back and you can just put stuff in. There is one wagon which is like a closed box wagon, and when you go over to look at it, you can see inside it's got like a almost like a mattress, like a downy, you know, medieval mattress type thing, kind of set up in there with like a bracing thing and a bowl underneath, and it's like a place to put like a large, like a really weirdly, they've tried to make something that they think would hold like a giant uncut ruby.
Fair enough.
We've got the aperture, he says, thinking of the biggest word he can think of to talk about it.
You're doing very well. You have managed many long words in a very short period of time. Are you sure you don't want to lie down?
I might take a little rest soon. He says, so kind of letting the tough guy, you know, front slip for a moment. But look, like we're all getting paid on this, right? We'll get there. We'll get the stuff. We'll come back. You know.
This is the plan. Yes,
That's the plan.
You know, I heard right that they're gonna back home, like in Tannerin, they're gonna set up a gladiatorial arena here.
Here? In this position now?
Yeah.
I'm going to put it.
He like points over to the far side of the market. They're going to knock some buildings down over there and clear that area and build a gladiatorial arena. It'd be fantastic. And all the others are like, yeah. Oh, hopefully we get, you know, and they start talking about particular gladiators that they've seen in combat, and they're hoping that they get the chance to see them at the arena here.
It would be more like a sort of touring circus. There would not just be the one gladiatorial pit.
Well, maybe it'll be better than Tannerin's pit.
You reckon?
Arena. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But what happens when the Crab King comes along and crushes everyone underneath his chitteny arse?
No. It doesn't crush us, right? He doesn't look at us, so he doesn't crush us. The light shines through and others fall. That's what I've been told. Sounds sweet.
Does it? Okay. I don't think
he jangles his shells around his neck. Like, he's not looking at me.
This is true. Gaze passes over. I would suggest, I'm not going to ask you to read anything because this is obviously a silly idea, but there is a very large painting of the plan in that building over there. Maybe spend the next 5 minutes considering where in that people who live in this town are going to be. Maybe like a group bonding exercise. Maybe we all go and we have a look. We maybe pray. That would make Clovis happy. We take in the
we could go pray to the Crab King before we go on a journey to fetch his eyeball.
Yeah, I like that part of the plan.
Okay, so you guys go inside the temple with all the brute squad, and they go in and they're kind of staring at the thing and they think it's awesome. They're like, "Oh, it's wicked! Look, they're like, what's that?" It's like a big explosion's been added to a building, and there's like fragments of the structure, and you think like small bodies, you know. He's like, "Oh, it was wicked! Look how good that is! It's amazing!
Okay.
It's impressive."
Anyone tell me where they are in this painting?
One guy walks over and points at one of the little figures on the crab's shoulder. He goes, "That's me."
No. This is second and third echelon. Where are you?
I don't know, maybe we're the people witnessing this.
No. No. You start pointing at the bodies.
What? No.
The Crab King does not have time for such fodder.
Yeah, but we can get on the echelons,
You?
can't we? I thought that's the whole point, right? We get on the echelon, on the red one, you know.
Do you know anyone from the Brute Squad who has managed such a thing?
What was that guy's name? Brack. Yeah, Brack.
Brack is a dick.
Yeah, I mean he is a dick. Oh, you know Brack.
Yeah, we met Brack. Brack
Yeah.
is Brack. No, he's not even a thug. He's just a dick. Come on now.
Well, he couldn't make it as a thug, so he went for echelon or whatever they call it. I can't remember.
Okay, so you think you're a successful thug? What happens then?
I don't know. I tend not to worry too much about, politics. I don't like to talk about politics too much. I just like to do my job and carry on. This is what religious folks are quite up for hyperbole. This is like grandiose dreaming. This isn't like reality.
I'd like to think your mother would be so proud. Your vocabulary is really quite remarkable. Where is your mother now?
I don't know. Tannerin somewhere.
When was the last time you wrote to your mother?
What?
Any of you? When was the last time you sent money back to your parents?
They're all quite quiet and look a bit embarrassed. Look, I mean, they do their thing. I do my thing. Got to make my own way in the world.
Really?
I'm sending money back to them.
Really? What did they give you?
When did you last send money back to your parents?
Last month.
Well, you can say that, can't you?
Yes,
I'm being honest.
You are accusing me of dishonesty?
Just like Klobos, I say it how it is. You can hear more shuffling outside. And
Listen, thank you. Thank you for your attention. Some of you, maybe a seed has been planted that will grow into wisdom. Some of you, not so much.
one or
Not
two
so
of
much.
them are sort of quiet at the back and looking at it like, yeah, Armageddon isn't exactly what I signed up for. Crabageddon.
Armageddon.
So, the caravan gets put together, and in fairly short order, you guys start to make your way out. Javis is quite a amiable chap who seems to know the land quite well. And as you're going out of the town, sort of points out different mountains and paths and passes that, that's that and that's that. Seems to know the lay of the land. Churn, sorry, go on.
I was going to say, if he's doing that, I would go, Javis, when we get closer to the mine, if there are any particular locations that are, don't know, particularly good for an ambush, could you just quietly let myself and Lafelle know?
On the way in.
It will also
So
be
then-
the way out, so...
Okay. I mean, there's quite a few because it's, mountainous regions, so the passes are often quite tricky. Okay.
Just,
Sure. And you kind of make your way up towards the mine. And as you're heading towards the mountains, you're into the foothills, and it's easy to see where the mine is. There's like smoke rising from that area. It's been worked. It's kind of surface and tunnel mine. So you can see people on the sides of like a embankment almost that's been kind of cut out. They're chipping away, and then there's some mine shafts, like not vertical ones, but slow sloped down into the hill, kind of there ahead. And there's some low structures around it. See some administration buildings, but then also the kind of housing for all the workers who are normally out there. And you can see there's a lot of activity going on. And Klobos has been pretty pleased with progress as you've been going. The Brute Squad all seem to be on form, moving as one. And you guys arrive at the mine. We'll cut back over to Dan quickly. Dan, there's been a night of everyone getting very excited and getting quite drunk. And Bereth has tried to calm things down, but he also has been getting people excited.
Yes.
And he's really good at these kind of sudden little speeches, not long, winding ones, but just these little ones that get people kind of juiced up. And no one seems to worry about the pus dripping down his face as he does it. They really do hear his words, and it's this kind of weird juxtaposition that you're trying to get used to. And though Decimus is also, he's got the most kind of bemused look on his face that you've seen the whole time that you've known him. Ricky has kind of seen a few people, and then he's like, I'm going back to town because I've got you here. These guys know how to get out of here, so you don't need me. And not being funny, but I'm not really in this for fighting and murdering, and I've got people back home that need me, so I'm gonna. He heads off, and you all sleep the night, and in the morning everybody wakes up. This is about the time that obviously Jean and Laffel are going off to go and sign up for the deed. So, and Bereth comes to you, and he's in good mood. Although he's pretty sure he drank a skimful last night. He seems to be ready for action the next day, and he's got his armor on. He's got a long sword at his side. He's got a shield on his arm. He doesn't have a helmet though. He comes up to you and says, I took an oath that I would not wear another face covering until the day the town was free from the crab folk, and I won't do that. Now, tell me, what's the plan?
Okay. Actually, have you got a map of the main road up to the mine?
He gets the guy, come out, bring the map, and he puts it out, and you can see there's loads of different trails that they've drawn like between the mountains. But there's like two that they use commonly to get towards the mine, and you can see the road into the mine, and there's a little simple map of the structures of the mine. He's like, when we want to disrupt the travelers to and from the mine, we head down this path. When we want to go towards the mine, and occasionally we some of the workers, we free them and we bring them out. We go down this path.
Okay. And she looks at the map. Is there like an actual main path up to like a singular sort of like main track up to the mine?
From the town?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So they're going to be traveling. Yeah. So they're going to be traveling along this, and where along here is the best place to ambush from, in your soldiers' experience?
A few of them kind of cluster around, and someone said, "Oh, there's a great spot there." And it's like, no, hang on, there's there. And because one guy leans in and goes, "No, there's that rock formation that you have to go round there. It goes between a tight chasm. You have to go through there quickly, otherwise you're easy to get picked on. It's great to move through because harpies can't get you. There's an overhang, but when you come out the other side, it's a perfect spot for an ambush."
Then that's where we'll be. So when they come down the mountain with the ruby, so they're going to collect the ruby, that's where we'll launch our ambush. Now, friends, I have friends there, so try not to kill everybody. You'll be able to tell who they are when you get to the fight, as it were. Worst case scenario, I'll try and point them out to you, but they'll be very obvious because it'll probably be crab people, brute squads, maybe some echelon people with their claws, and then there'll be these. Yeah, absolutely. But these two will stand out. One of them is well-armored paladin, and the other one, well, you'll hear him talking from about a mile off, so you'll know which one he is. He's a Carolingian Frank, so you can't miss him.
We cannot hold that against him, says Beric.
No, no, he's a good man, honest.
Say
He's
this as if this is some bane. There's a boon that we shall be able to single him out.
yes, exactly. Now, hopefully, if they've had an opportunity, they may have even roped some extra help along the way. I don't know, but if they point out people to not kill, try not to kill them as well. But we hit them here with overwhelming force. Now, yesterday there was a brawl in the bar. They've lost a lot of guards yesterday because we killed quite a few of them yesterday. So they're going to be low on numbers. We should outnumber them.
Well, hopefully we have ourselves lost some men to these foul harpies. In the night, you heard kind of screeching sounds and like people deterring harpies. These foul harpies do bother us, but yes, we are committed. There are what is the last count? And the man says 34, my lord. Says 34. There's 34 of us. It is a meager force, but we will do all we can. Any of your friends who can join us, and those we free from the mine, I feel together, if we can meet up with Paffel Jaffet, and he stands up and puts his foot on a rock, we can come together, and in this moment, in this decisive moment, step forward and free Huskrin from the foul claw of the crab. And they all say, "Ah, Berith, yes!" And then they all kind of gather their wits as if they got a bit overexcited, and they kind of hunker back down to the map, and they're like, sorry.
Yes. If I can ask for no speeches when we're waiting to do an ambush, that'd be great, because we really don't want to be shouting and screaming before we ambush.
Fear not. We can
excellent.
ambush.
Fantastic. I suppose you probably got expert marksmen. Probably the ones you used to
archers, and they all go, no.
Have them
we
wait.
have a squad of archers.
Have them wait on the ridge, pick their shots, and then your soldiers fight with unison, fight together. Most of them are going to be run-of-the-mill, probably people just from your town who have never actually been in a real battle. So they won't be able to fight against a unified shield wall making its way into combat.
We have experience, do not worry. When we get to the fray, we will do the best we can. If these are the brute squad of which you speak, these are the poor folk who have been suckered into service, enamoured by their gladiatorial pits, wowed by the sham of mockery battle, stirred into action with little training or forethought. I will appeal to their hearts upon the battlefield, and we will see who turns and joins us. Any cultists will fall. Yes, and yes.
Excellent. Well, then that's our plan. So quiet until we launch the ambush, okay?
Very well.
Excellent. Fantastic. Then, please, we should probably start making our way.
Let us go. And everyone starts to get their gear together, get on their horses, the archers getting all their arrows together, the soldiers put on their armor and get ready. They start to head out, and you guys head towards the ambush point. And I think we will leave our episode there as you guys are getting ready, and our fellow companions have arrived at the mine. And next week we will have the ruby mine heist to steal the eye of the Crab King. So that will be lots of fun.
Okay.
Thank you very much, guys. Great session. Thank you, anyone watching this. If you are viewing this later, please check out our links below. Social media is all down there. Click away. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us on our Discord. Cool. Okay. Well, thanks very much, guys. This has been the Tales from Hyperborea, the Doom of the Crab King, and we will see you next week for part 5. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.